Welcome back, Spurs fans, to the Scott Hepler Football Channel. Today, we're doing our predicted ponderings, where we're going to talk about the lineup for the Tottenham Sheffield United match. If you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button, support the channel. Definitely would appreciate it. Hit the like button if you enjoy the video. As we go through and you have your thoughts, put them down in the comments. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a discussion about this team we all are so passionate about. All right, with that being said, we're going to ponder upon the Spurs lineup. And with this one, I'm not going to try to predict what Mason's going to do. I have no clue. There's not enough information about Mason, what he wants to do, and the players that he's going to pick. So I'm going to just kind of go with what I think we should do. And there's a couple different avenues here. And I'll go down the first one and we'll talk about that, and then I'll kind of talk about the second one. So the first one is, the first formation I think we should use is a 4-4-2, the diamond in the middle. And there's a couple things why I think we should do that. I think it makes us more solid in the middle, in the midfield, which is where we do struggle often, is that midfield play, being solid in the middle, and also the link up between the back line to the front line. Sometimes there can be some disparity there in that midfield area, especially right behind the forwards in that attacking midfielder area. And so I think that's probably my first option, what I like to see us do. And now we'll go through who I think should be in the positions. Of course, in goal, obviously, always going to be Lloris. There's no reason to bring Hart in at this point. He's just a bench warmer right now, and there just in case something happens to Lloris, which we hope nothing has. And speaking of Lloris, he's actually come back into form a little bit. You know, he's started off the season pretty decent. He's kind of waned there for a little bit, and after the last couple matches, I mean, he was probably our man of the match in the cup final, just because it could have been a lot worse than 1-0. And thankfully, in even the previous match, you know, he made a lot of good saves and stuff. And so I think Lloris has come back into form a little bit. He's got a second win, whatever you want to call it. And then, okay, on the outside, left outside back, Davies is still hurt. So that leaves us just a couple options, which is Reguilon. Tanganga's played out there from time to time. I don't think that's the best option right now to have Tanganga out on the left. I know Reguilon has been not doing that great lately. He's been pretty poor as of late, but he's still our best option out there. I don't know who else we'd throw out there other than Tanganga. So I'm going to put Reguilon out there. In the middle, I'm looking for a Toby Rodon tandem. Put them in there, solidify that central position. Toby was pretty good in the cup final. He looks like he's getting back into what he usually should be, or what you expect of him. I mean, he's not at his greatest ever, and probably never going to be, but he's come back into form a little bit. But he was out of the team for quite a while too, so you know, this is an opportunity for him. Rodon, I still think he's our best solid player in that center back position, aside from Toby. By far much better than Sanchez and Dyer. Yes, he does lack a little bit of pace, but his football intelligence makes up for it. He's 9 times out of 10 in the spot before the attacker, because he's aware and can predict and think of where are they going to go with this ball if it comes this way. And he can position himself well. His positioning is excellent most of the time, where the same can't be said for Sanchez and Dyer. Their positioning can be very poor at best for periods of time throughout the match, not just one instance here or there. Okay, those are the center backs that I'm thinking that we need. On the right outside, I've been saying it, Aurier's a liability. We need to start with defense first, be solid defensively first. I think Tanganga needs to be out on the right back. I know He's a center back, but he's played out there a number of times. He's played against Man City in November when we won. He was our best defender on the day. He can fill that position. He's not as good going forward, but that's not what we need from him. We need a solid defense. We lost the cup because of Aurier again. We've given up so many points in the Premier League this season because of Aurier, because of poor defense, just poor defense. And this provides the best defense available to us. I think Aurier is a liability. He's proven that. I know he started off the season pretty well, but he's kind of reverted back to his absent-minded form from time to time. Okay, in the diamond, in the midfield. Out on the left, I'd like to, it's going to put Song. I'm going to put Song out there. I know he's kind of regressed a little bit since what he was doing previously in the beginning of the season in the first 10, 15 matches, but he's also been a little fatigued. I think he's a little emotionally fatigued too. A lot of just a lot going on here within the team this season, and but he's still our best option out there on the outside. If it's not working, there's all these options we can bring on. So I think we still go with the best because, again, this is a must-win match. We got to have the best team out there, put us in the best position to win. In the holding midfielder position, I'm going with Højbjerg, obviously. That's his role. No one else can fill that. Out on the right, I'm looking for Mora. I'm going to put Mora out there on that right side and give us a little pace. He'll track back, help out a little bit more than some other people like a Bell or something like that. And then in the top of the pyramid, I'm going to put Ndombele. I typically don't like Ndombele forward, but the whole idea about the pyramid and the diamond here in the midfield is Song, Lucas, and Ndombele play in front of Højbjerg. Højbjerg just kind of floats across that hole right in front of the back line, across the field there. And then the wingers or the outside guys kind of fill in the back piece. And that allows Ndombele not to have to track back. He won't fatigue quite as much. When we play a 4-2-3-1, he's required to drop back quite a bit, even in that cam position. And he gets fatigued having to go pretty much from inline to inline. And it's just a better fit, in my opinion. And it'll save his legs a little bit. And then up top, in the two up front, obviously we'll use Harry Kane. Not a great last match against Man City, but Harry Kane is still by far the best option we have of any attacking player out here. And with this, he can continue to drop in a little bit here and there and interchange positions with Ndombele, Song, Mora, things like that. There's a lot of fluidity available within this formation for him, which he's been doing. And he is, or has been, our best threat when it comes to passing. He can hit those beautiful balls through the defense, over the defense, and cut the defense in half real quick. And that just gives him an option. When we have two people up front, he doesn't have to stay up front all the time. He can drop in and not worry about just leaving everything devoid of a presence up there. And then brings me to the second forward. I think the second forward should be Bell. And I know Bell does not like to play up front. He wants to play out on the edge. But this is where Mason's going to have to make his mark and say, you know what, we need you up front. You can't do the wing because you won't, or out on the outside, you won't track back. You just won't, not consistently enough for us to be solid defensively. We can't have that as a liability. We do need you on the pitch. You're going up front. Here you are. This will save you. This will keep you from getting so fatigued. Also, help him understand what the positive is for him being up here, up top. It'll save his legs. He won't have to track back as much. And then he can also provide that same role as what Kane's been doing, is dropping in, picking up a ball, and hitting those passes like Kane does. Bell's as good a passer, if not better, than Kane. And that's the thing that we really lack, is multiple people within the squad that can do that on a regular basis. When Bell's been out, it's only been Kane, and that's all teams have had to worry about. When Bell's in there and he's actually being a presence in there, he can provide those long balls. He can cut the balls through the defense, just like Kane. That gives them two people to worry about. And that also allows Kane and Bell to float up and forward and back, side to side, interchange with those guys behind them a lot more, and create so much confusion for the defense. They don't know what we're going to do. We're too predictable when we're in our 4-2-3-1. We just don't provide creative options, and all we do is the same thing over and over. Within this formation, it will allow us, whether we'll do it or not, I don't know, but it does give us more options and gives us a different look than what teams are used to. And so it'll be less predictable. So this is who I think we should be going in. Gives us a nice, decent little bench. You've got Lo Celso, you've got Lamela, a few players that can come on. You may even have some young players that may fill out that bench or not, whatnot. Dele Alli's an option. I don't think he's a great option, but he's always an option there. But that's the team I think we should go with in the formation. The other formation option, of course, is a 4-3-3. And this one, I think, gives us another different look. It's very similar to the 4-2 diamond, except we're pushing even more people forward. And the midfield becomes more of a V. And again, Højbjerg's just kind of floating across that back line the entire time, where like in this, where I've got it shown here with Ndombele and Mora, they're pushed up. No more is it a pivot with Ndombele and Højbjerg. Mora and Ndombele stay forward, period. And then they only come back to help when they need to. They are in the pivot up front, not in the back. So we do the pivot up front. And that also will give opportunity for Ndombele not to get burned up playing in an advanced role, because that'll put responsibility on Mora to have to get back also, not just the center midfielder in a 4-2-3-1 position. And then of course you got your wings. The thing that I don't like about this formation is Bell is put on the wing, and he's going to be required to track back. But I still think we need our best players on the pitch. This is a option number 2, or a B, plan B, I guess I would say. I just don't think the 4-2-3-1 is something that we utilize very well. It's a great formation if you have the personnel and the people that will actually run it right. It's a good formation, but we haven't been doing that for a while in any shape or form. But these are the two options I think we should go with. Let me know what you all think. Who do you think should start? I mean, with what he put out there for the Man City match, I don't know. It's my guess what Mason's going to do here. But this is who I think we should go with. Let me know what you all think down in the comments. I think we're going to pull out a victory here. We should win, but I don't think it's going to be flashy or just all low. We're going to be blowing the team away. We just don't have that fire in us right now. But I think we can get the win. I think we'll be somewhere like 3-1, maybe 2-1. I do think they may get a goal. With this defensive back line, I think this gives us our best opportunity to give a shutout. If Aurier or Sanchez or Dyer's in this mix at all, we're giving up at least a goal. There's just no two ways about it. So this gives us our best chance for a shutout too with this back line. But Let me know what you all think, and come on, you Spurs.